Hey, this is Patrick Mahomes, quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs, and you're listening to the
Booty League
podcast.
Yo, what's up, guys? We're hopping into week 3 of the Fantasy League, episode 4. As always, I'm David, joined by my co-host Chris.
What's up,
and
guys?
this week's special guest, the biggest Tom Brady mark you'll ever see, Nick. What's up, guys?
Wait, it's not Timmy. I'm not Timmy. What are you talking about? But yeah, what's up, guys?
Yeah.
So how's your second year going so far? Playing
It's
fantasy football with us?
fun. I think I'm getting the hang of it. Last year, I was getting hard carried by Kamara every week, and now I actually have to fight for it. So it's a lot more fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you doing anything different this year? For
Yeah,
any
I've
strategies,
actually
anything you're doing more homework, anything like that?
definitely a lot more homework. I've learned to take whatever is written on the internet with a huge grain of salt.
Mhm.
I've learned to look better at individual player matchups on defenses instead of just like, they let this team score X amount of points last week, therefore you should have this many points. Like that's not how it works, right? There's always like different kinds of coverages for different players and different studs, right?
Yeah.
And not getting too attached to my guys. That's the hard one, man, because like,
Yeah.
you root for them every week, day in, day out when there's no games, right? You're like, I
Yes,
can't wait to
sir.
see this guy play. Can't wait to see this guy play. And then the trade comes up, and then you're like, well, shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta let them go. They're gone in my mind, right?
I mean,
For a right price.
it's like part of like that is like not every league is like that. I think it's like a culture that the Booty League has like built up over like many years because we used to have not like no trades at all.
Yep.
And so
Yeah.
it's like a culture that we've cultivated, and so now these guys are like just pieces of meat to us that we will expend, right? So I think definitely adding in like Royce, Michael, Jonathan, the big traders really helped that.
Mhm.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, let's jump into this week's waiver wire talks. Breaking news: we got 14 waivers and then some small ones after the next couple of days, but no big bids. So these are heavily bidded people like 4+, 3+, and then or 10 plus fab. So we got JD McKissick to Michael for 50 and 6 bids. The next closest was Marcus for 25, Royce at 15, Darnell Mooney to Michael for 40. The next closest bid was myself with 3, James at 0, Panthers D for James for 18, and that was 7 bids. I think that was the most bids this week. Dimitri Felton to Marcus for 15, but no other bids, and 4 bids for the Bills D, and I got them for 8. Daniel Carson, 4 bids, I got him for 1. And
4 bids.
Yeah,
He's a kicker, right?
he's a kicker. And Royce, Henry Ruggs for 0, but he what was interesting was he tied with James and must have had a waiver priority, so I thought that was interesting. He won that one up for 0. So thoughts on this week's waiver? Let's bring it up to Nick.
Yeah, so I thought I would have locked in Panthers D actually, because I was reading about how, Houston was starting without Tyrod and like an unproven QB was just gonna throw it was gonna be pick central. I think that was the idea. And Panthers D is actually not knocking them at all, but they've been really solid up until this year. So yeah, that was my number one waiver pick. And I thought, I think I put in like 5 and I was like, that's a shoe. And people would be like
Oh.
0, 1, 3. I'll put in 5 and then I'll get them, right? And fucking James comes out with 18 and I was like not even I think I was 4th, right? Yeah, I was
Yeah.
4th. And so I was like, well, shit, I guess everyone else did the same exact homework and James wanted it bad, but
Yep.
spoiler alert, they already kind of didn't really pay off 18 bucks, I don't think. Well, 1
9
week.
points
Yeah.
isn't bad.
Is
9 points is good.
I'd say
Bro,
9.
you think? Maybe I'm spoiled. I don't know.
Who do
Yeah,
you have?
I had Pats last week and they were my
Yeah, 20,
second
yeah.
highest
I
score.
say anything over 10 is a treat.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
I think
Yeah,
if you get
I believe
if you
that.
get 8, like if my defense scores 8 like every week, then I'm happy.
I
I can't be too mad.
I view defense as kind of like a flex type position. If my
Fair
flex
enough,
gets
yeah.
10, I'm happy.
Well, because then I think what turned me off was that James spent so much for like a
Yeah.
1 week stream at best. Like next week there's New Orleans, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
That's
I don't
looking
think
like
he'd
a
start.
pretty good matchup now.
We'll
Well,
see.
I think last
We'll
week was a
see.
fluke. I think last
We'll
week was a
see.
hella fluke
Okay, yeah,
because
we'll
they were
see.
missing a ton of coaches. But
Okay.
anyway, yeah. So I really wanted Panthers D. I think I picked up Raiders as like a backup. and I
That's a
got
good
them.
one.
So yeah, I got them
That
for
was
a
my third
buck.
option that week. So yeah.
Yeah, I was really happy with Raiders D for a buck. I think Bills were up there too, but I didn't
Yeah.
really like their matchup at all. So
All right. David, any thoughts? What anyone you
Yeah, we made
wanted?
JD McKissick for like 50.
that's
Woo!
Right.
crazy.
A little bit of FOMO, dude.
I mean,
Should have put 122 on him.
I mean, realistically, like he's the Gibson owner too. Like, when are you going to realistically play both of them at the same time, right? You'll like never play both,
Mhm.
right? You just play
Yeah.
one, and so if you're gonna play one, I would like play Gibson like half the time. But I
Mhm.
guess it's more like a Gibson hedge, which 50 is too much for a handcuff, so I don't know where he's going out there. But I also really wanted Emmanuel Sanders actually.
hmm
He was getting a lot of targets. Josh Allen just wasn't hitting him right.
Yeah.
And so I think Josh Allen will bounce back, and so will Emmanuel Sanders.
Gotcha. Yes, you guys called it. Michael spent 94 fab, big spender last week, and then Another thing to know is Marcus has 3 Cleveland backs.
Yeah.
Like that third running back's gonna probably play wide receiver though, but yeah, he has 3 Cleveland running backs on his team.
Yeah, locking up that entire
real
offense.
Royce, real Royce economics right
yeah.
there, man.
He took it a step further, I think.
Oh shit.
Oh, as an aside,
Go ahead.
Oh, you're
I think
speaking,
you cut
but
out.
yeah,
Cut
you're
out.
cutting out.
Oh,
Oh,
As
you're
an
back.
aside.
You're back. You're back.
hello? Does that work?
I think
Yeah,
you're on your laptop mic now, right?
Yeah.
yeah. No, do you guys hear the echo though? Shit, sorry.
I
no
can
worries.
turn you down a little bit. Go ahead.
Yeah, this works.
oh,
Oh,
bummer.
technical.
Oh yeah, you're good.
Oh,
Now.
you're good. You're good. All right. An aside. As an aside.
Yeah, I was gonna ask like, how do you feel about your 122 drop on Eli now?
Oh
right.
man, dude, with that
You're
shoulder
right.
injury, that's rough.
You
That's
should
rough.
have
But
known to bet that much money on a San Francisco running
did.
back.
I had Trey Sermon, so I think it was nice that I locked up the backfield, and so like
Yeah.
for the next couple weeks, like I don't know what the future holds,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I thought like having 2 of them would give me like 2 weeks, right? So but I can't be mad. Elijah Mitchell had like over 15 touches or something, so he
Yeah.
didn't produce. It was a good run defense, so I'm not mad at like what the process. So
Okay.
just a bummer he got hurt.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
You can't plan around
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Nothing you can do about that.
All right, shot bet counter this week.
Jesus.
David has 5, Royce has 3, I have 2, Jonathan has 1, Timmy has 1. Our weekly bets we had this week was Gronk over under 10.5.
On an empty stomach.
You should have ate. I ate a little bit. I
I
went to
came
get 2
home.
shots.
I came straight from work, and I don't have food. I gotta cook it. So
Dude, I had some leftovers. I was like, oh, real quick, I just need a bite. Like, even if it's only 2 shots. David versus Timmy, just their points. Cowboys versus Chargers, and then David and I had a side bet for 2 shots, just because we always do when we play each other head to head. And then Jonathan won the weekly head to head, our guest. So David and Chris are out.
how much did he get?
He got 5. He got 5 correct, and I'll talk about that in a second after we take our shots. So Royce, if you're listening to this, I'll probably send a message, so you might get it later. But Royce needs to send a video in to David or I before the next.
Is this from
Sunday.
last week? Don't we add one per week?
No. This is for this week. Everyone took care of their business last week.
Okay.
Everyone took care of their business last week. All right.
Yeah,
So
with
let's
our
take
apple
shots.
juice.
Well, I forgot my.
All right, got some apple juice. I'll drink with you guys and spit. Even though I
Taking
won,
some apple juice.
this actually is not apple juice for the record.
You took 2. You won all your bets this week, huh?
Yes, sir. That's why I'm at that 0, baby. I think I lost one. I lost one because I took that 1 shot for Snapchat, but I forget which one it was.
It looks like you won. You won the chart. You were part of the them boys. Them boys beat the Bolts.
That's right.
And you were on Timmy's team, so you're good there. And you didn't.
Oh, that's right.
You put the Gronk bet in like really late, so I didn't count it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that was just for the meme because then
somebody was. I thought you were memeing, so.
Yeah, that was for the meme because
was-
somebody was asking like what the line was.
Oh, that was
And they're
me.
like-
For some reason, I thought it was Pitts. I didn't realize we made the Gronk over in there, but that was
Yeah.
in the chat. It wasn't
Yeah.
on whatever.
Yeah,
All
Pitts
right.
was week 1, 10.5.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay.
It's
And
my
then I'll
first
do
shot.
mine last. Or
Yeah.
Woo! Gotta age restrict this video for the culture.
it is age restricted.
Is it really?
Yeah,
Is
we
it
can't
just
or not age restricted, but I just put not for kids.
Yeah.
okay?
I didn't have to
All right.
specify the
I was
age.
telling Nick we were watching some
Oh, are you
stream
guys
one
done?
day. Yeah, we're done. Go ahead.
All right, right here.
Oh yeah, I'm just sipping
I have
because
a
I'm
little
not a
bit more.
degenerate. Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Who's
Jeez,
this?
is that
That's
cold?
one.
At
No,
least.
it's not.
Ooh.
You got a stock. You got the pour though. Cheers.
That's because I'm pouring a lot of the volumes a lot.
My God.
My God, I might kill this.
Oh, are you doing the
Big one big
collector? Oh my, he's doing the collector.
It's so
Oh,
full
oh.
already.
That's 2 shots.
That's just 2 though, right? I don't know if I can do it all in one go though. It's
Just
been a while.
just drink half of it, and then we'll drink it again before
Three,
our head-to-heads or something. But yeah,
four. It's
we're looking forward
Oh,
to
sorry.
more shot bets this week. Hopefully, David doesn't have to take too many.
Oh damn, you are
5.
villain. No.
You know what, guys? Just for the YouTube viewers, I'm pouring an extra one for CMC, man.
He's trying to
You
die.
know what, dude?
Spoiler alert.
CMC,
Spoiler alert.
this for you, brother. Come back
Spoiler
quickly.
alert, man.
Oh God.
Does Alice know
Holy.
how to turn off your stream?
I don't. It's just gonna keep recording, dude. All right. All right.
Let's drink half
It's
of that.
gonna
dude.
walk in and then David's
Oh,
just
drink half of it.
It's
you
so
have a chase?
full,
a
dude.
big cup, dude.
It's so full, dude.
That's more than your chase. That's more than your chase.
It's about the same, dude. But
Sheesh. All right, good luck.
I'm gonna turn off my mic because people are complaining about my gulping.
I wasn't. Hey, constructive criticism, David.
Uh,
Constructive criticism.
all right, let's see this. So David's currently taking a sip of his chase. Oh, that a kid. Got that same face on. Probably drink 1/3 of it. Oh man, he might puke. There it is.
I turn on.
Oh. That's for the
I got a good
viewers.
half of it. It was up here.
That was a good third. Oh, it is. It is the way the
It
wine
tapers down,
Yeah.
man. All right.
Oh shit.
Woo!
All right, I'm gonna try to get one more in before
I'm
that.
I'll have to take another one with you just in solidarity.
Yeah, honestly, that's why I took mine.
Oh shit.
I can't let my boy suffer in solitude.
I don't think I've ever puked on stream, and I might get close.
You did 7 last year, but you were probably on a full stomach.
All I'm saying is the best alcohol clips are from when I'm the guest.
Is that when-
Oh,
So
is that
make
where-
it happen.
Is that where Chris Coombs from?
Yes, sir. Because
man, dude.
I missed it live. I remember
That's
being
right.
very sad that I missed it
That's
live.
right.
All right, I can
Because
do
I was
one.
looking at the
I'll
cheat.
do one. I'll do my.
Last shot later.
I'll do my last shot.
Okay.
Respectable.
Before the matchups.
All right. Good shit.
Let me
Oops.
pour this
I
out on the
fucking suck.
side off camera.
All right. So that's our week 2 shot bet outs. Our game this week is trading wins, or 3 weeks in. I know everyone's still trying to hold out on their draft, still trying to ride high. Like, I drafted a great team. I know people are talking. I know Jonathan's a big talker. I heard Michael's talking. I know David's talking. But yeah, let's see if we can push any trading wins out for our listeners. As David makes a steak face.
It doesn't sit well.
Especially on an empty stomach, dude.
Yeah,
You have your trash. You have a bag next to you?
Yeah, I have a bag next to me.
Alice!
This is no. I'm breaking.
Alice
I'm
on
breaking
standby.
kayfabe. I don't feel
Breaking-
good, guys. All right, let's get through this trading wins segment.
All right, so I put out some honorable mentions on who might need the trade. We got O2ers, Marcus Royce, Michael Ty. We got the lowest points for in Vintook. And 1120, this aged like milk. I mean, I guess it aged pretty well because David had strengths at running back 1 and quarterback, but now he doesn't have a running back 1 for a
Yeah, I
couple
erased
weeks.
that. I do have running back one, Mark Ingram,
my
running
God.
back one
Oh.
of the Texans.
Oh,
yeah,
that running
'cause-
back one. And then
yeah, he went off.
I know Nick has
He went
some
off.
needs as well. So those are just some ideas. Any ideas on some players you want to bring up? How do you want to approach this? Who have you been talking to? So any talking trades? You guys have anyone in the trading blocks? But those are just some ideas.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll take this. I'll take this time to throw some shade at Jonathan, who backed out of not one, but two trades. So, Jonathan, if you're listening to this, a championship changed you, man. You used to wheel and deal and let the cards fall how they fall, but now now you're a conservative better with the big bank.
He's scared money now.
Yeah, he's
He's
scared
scared money.
money. But
Scared,
I have a
and we know
couple.
scared money don't make money.
I have a couple players that I throw at you, and you guys can tell me like where they rank amongst and people like you in just gut in your gut where they rank in your head, right? But if you guys want to talk about some people, you can do so now before I hop into my players that I want to
Go
talk
ahead.
about.
Talk about your players first, and we can always build.
All right,
work
yeah.
up.
So how much would you guys pay for Gibson right now? You know, draft capitals, early second round pick, right?
So I think a lot of things, if you're listening to this, is like you kind of like I know draft capital like lingers in your mind, but you kind of have to drop it. Like it's also 2 weeks, right? Like you have to understand the situation, and I know you're looking out for the best for yourself, but you do have to drop draft capital, and see for yourself, like, is this person as good as advertised?
Mm-hmm.
So
Agreed.
yeah, Gibson second round. Go ahead, but yeah, just go from there. So yeah, the draft capital is second round, 2-1.
Yeah,
But
draft capital second round, but it is also week 2, so it's I think around that 3-4 week is when you start to really get a good idea of the league, the shape of the league,
yeah,
and so it probably lingers in the manager's head, but it also will draft capital will also linger in probably the trader's head this week too, right? So how much would you pay for Gibson right now? And I know what Michael is looking for him. I know what he's looking. So
you've been talking. It's like he wants like two. He probably wants two like running back twos or something like that, just to shore up his running backs. That's what I've been hearing. He wants an improvement at tight end, so maybe if you can like get a solid running back two that's been performing the last 2 weeks,
at his team
and a
real
solid
quick.
tight end.
The only trade he's reached out to me for was for Cup or Scary Terry,
Okay.
Yeah.
and I'm like, there's nobody on your team that I
Yeah.
like. I already answered. Yeah, there's thinking downgrades everywhere for his
Mhm.
team, right? But I think that's also a point to being like player dependent, right? Because I have Terry, I don't want Gibson because that's just a worthless stack,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But then at what point do I value him as a piece to pot him off to someone else? And right now, I think his value is like to the floor, like a second
Terry's
rounder.
value.
No,
No.
Gibson.
Gibson's value.
Okay.
It's low.
Yeah.
It's definitely low. So like he's like, fuck. Do I sell him off now, and does it dip anymore? Weeks 3 and 4 when we find out JD McKissick and him just split the whole time, or
Yeah.
is his value gonna go back to the perceived value it was from the draft?
Yeah. So what would you pay? Name player wise, what would you give
Okay.
for Gibson right now?
If I'm looking at Michael's team and I need someone, I might give up. Like, I might go for a 2-for-2 deal and like try to do like a Cooper deal or a Keenan Allen deal.
Upgrade.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah.
Yeah.
O2 right there. So like, and then maybe some sort of package trade. There. Yeah.
I would give Gibson for like a Chase Edmonds type player, Mike Davis player, someone
Yeah.
maybe performing below their ceiling right now. A 2-for-1, obviously. So like
and trying to get another piece too.
another piece, like a Mike Will made it or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I like it. I actually like his wide receivers. Godwin and Moore are solid, like every week to week, right? But his weakness definitely, like, if he's gonna give up Gibson, then that RB2 slot is like wide open because he doesn't have anyone on his bench, right?
Yeah.
So, it might be, yeah, it's got except for McKissick, but it's like
But the running back one might already be on his bench, is what he's
okay,
saying.
okay. There's a big difference between a team's RB1 and an RB1. I'll say that. There's a gap there.
Okay.
All right, let's move on to another piece.
Yeah,
Let's
like
get some
how
other
about
stuff.
we do? I'll skip over some not so pressing ones. What about James Robinson again?
Ooh,
Second week, second round pick, late second round. So these second round or running backs, man, Jonathan Taylor too, I think.
So let's start with James Robinson. Man, that offense looks rough, but
yeah.
his numbers are trending better from week 1 to week 2. So I know Royce is trying to hold out. Like, can he capitalize on any value?
Yeah, Royce is straight up strapped in, dude. And,
Yeah,
the ship's going like this.
like
And-
maybe he can, trade him off for another like running back. Does he like the CH situation better? Maybe he can see he can get a 1-for-1
like
there.
a 1-for-1. That's interesting. Lottery
Just
for
like
lottery.
another like lower pick. Maybe he can package like him and Julio for like a David Montgomery, a DeAndre Swift, someone that looks a little bit better or is on a better situation. So yeah, just some thoughts
Here,
there.
what about this? All right, just spitballing, right? Kyle Pitts and James Robinson for Antonio Gibson plus something. Would you do that? Who wins?
Kyle Pitts, what?
Kyle Pitts and James Robinson for Gibson
Antonio Gibson's.
plus
Ooh, that's
wide
spicy.
receiver too.
That's very plausible. That's
Right,
very,
right.
very
I'm just
plausible.
I'm just spitballing right now.
That's you need to spitball a little bit more, man. I can see that. That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
All
All right.
So
What about
we'll
you,
get
Nick?
those trading wins blowing. Anything else, Nick, from James Robinson?
Dude. So I like James Robinson as a player. I don't like Jacksonville's offense, how they're performing right now. But I was just looking overall at Royce's team, and he doesn't really have like glaring weak spots, to be honest. Like Chase Edmonds is a startable RB2 every week. His wide receiver core is solid. Pitts, I think, is due for positive movement, and Devonta is, still rookie, but I mean, he's a different kind of rookie, right? So I think he can afford to hold out on James Robinson to see if he reaches last year's record season, right? So I don't know if he's in a rush. I don't think he's in a rush to like sell low on him right now. Yeah.
I think
But I mean, he obviously there's always room for upgrades, right? But I think it's gonna take a more than you would think, is what I would say. Because I would not go for Gibson. That trade did not seem enticing to me whatsoever for like James Robinson +1 for Gibson. Like, because Gibson's very sell low right now.
Wait, so it's not enticing for?
I wouldn't think that Royce could consider that to be like a decent trade. I don't think
Really?
so,
I thought
no.
that was spicy.
Nah,
Pretty spicy.
I'm just taking it like in real time. I don't really look too much on historical. Not too much, right? So I mean, because tomorrow is way different from
you think
even a
Royce
week
is
ago.
holding out. Okay.
Yeah, I think he can afford to too. So I don't think he's in any rush.
Unfortunately, Royce will have to wait another week.
Yeah.
But we'll get more into that. We'll get more into that when we get into the matchups of the week. I don't want to spoil it for anybody.
And so someone else that's a 2-or but that has the lowest points for. Just looking at his team, we got Vincent. He has Alvin Kamara, but to be honest, no one else on his team's kind of hitting. Like AJ Brown's kind of laying low. Allen Robinson's not doing too well. Jerry Jeudy got hurt. Justin Herbert's not hitting. He has kind of Alvin Kamara's like that main piece. Like, do you see any moves for Vincent squad or anything like that?
Vintuk is kind of like he will like be really patient with his guys, almost to a fault.
Yeah.
Like last year, what's his name got injured, and we were like, Saquon got injured, right? And we were waiting and we were waiting and we were waiting for him to make that trade. We're like, Vince, one trade away, and me and you said that for like 3-4 weeks, right? And then he never traded
for a long time, yeah.
right? So I think Vin takes a more of a wait and see type of approach, almost to a fault. But I think his team is just a ticking time bomb. And so I think they're performing a little bit below their potential right now. So I think he's gonna continue and do a wait and see approach. I don't see Vin trading at all, actually.
Yeah, I do not see. I usually don't see him trading much either. I think areas he needs improvement is like a running back 2 and like a flex position because I don't think he really has flex players at the moment. I guess Tyler Boyd because uh, Jarvis Landry. No, excuse me. T Higgins is out. But Miles Gaskin and the offense is in a rough position, and David Johnson's in a rough position as well. And
Yeah.
Javonte's in a 50-50 split with Melvin Gordon. So, does he sell high on any of the value or the upside to someone? I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think he'd rather take the upside himself.
Yeah, I see. I think I can look at his team and there everybody was selling at their low right now. I don't think he'll sell.
Okay.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I was gonna say that it mirrored Royce's team where they're not performing where they should be, and where I think they definitely can, just for reasons unknown, I guess. Like, there's no real good explanation for why they're so low right now.
Ty's another person that's 0-2 right now. Very patient trader. I think him and Vincent kind of. Oh, Ty doesn't really trade. Vincent will
Ty
accept
doesn't trade?
Ty doesn't trade too much, and he trades. I've only seen like bench piece trades from what I remember. Like, don't quote me on that, but I know Vincent trades when he's like definitely in favor. Like, it's not like, hey, like let's
He
switch it
wouldn't
up.
do a
Like,
toss-up trade.
yeah, it's not. He wouldn't do like, okay, let me downgrade at running back 2, but let me upgrade my wide receiver 2 my flex or something, and then I can play this roulette or that roulette. But he's just rather like, fuck it, I'll take my pieces,
Yeah.
Ty, I think, has trouble right now with his running back 2. Leonard Fournette, is Sony Michel going to play? Is Alexander Madison reps this week? CH is not it at the moment. But he has great receivers in Kenan and Amari trades you can see for Ty. Anything like that?
Let's see. For Ty, what? First of all, before we trade, Ty needs to fill out his bench, right?
There's that, yes.
So
it's definitely taking too long of a wait and see approach.
There are like pieces on the waiver wire that you could just literally for free put on your team. But whatever, right? It's to each their own. But Clyde, I might trade to a hopeful owner who hopes that he will turn it around. I mean, I personally wouldn't want to trade for Clyde, especially after that game-losing fumble last week. But if someone was especially like of a risk taker, I might actually just take a Chase Edmonds or a Miles Gaskin for Clyde just to take that headache off my hands, right? Because with Chase Edmonds, Miles Gaskins, Mike Davis, you know what you're getting, right? You know you're gonna get like that 10 points a week. With Clyde, if he has that like sour taste in your mouth, because you paid up for him. I just get he's just toxic to your team.
Okay. So 2 weeks in, I know he's holding out. I don't think I see much trades, but we're just talking right now, right? We're just talking, seeing if anything's gonna happen.
Yeah, we're just talking.
All right, last one. Any other topics you guys want to talk about? Any other one more player or one more situation? We don't put out there.
I'm okay.
I know David's in the market for an RB1.
I'm in the market for whoever's trying to deal.
No, you're not, dude. I tried. We'll get into it later, but I tried to save you this week. That's all I'm saying.
Oh,
I tried to save you this week, David. That's all I'm saying.
you can't
All
predict
I'm gonna
that.
say is I'm
I
taking him
did.
to my grave.
I saw it, dude. I saw it.
I'm taking CMC to my grave till I die. He's my keeper.
That's your keeper?
He's your braised short rib, right?
Oh, that's true. That's what got you.
Would you make the rib?
I made the short rib.
Yeah, all right.
Very popular.
All right, so no trades this past week. We can't grade that trade. We can't do anything like that. Let's move on to the week recap and the discussion. Chris versus David. Chris won. Vincent versus Ty. Vincent won. Royce versus Jonathan. Jonathan won. James versus Marcus. James. Michael versus Nick. Michael Michael, excuse me. Michael was the
Dude.
guess. It was Nick.
By a
Big,
landslide.
Big,
By a
Nick.
Are
landslide.
we keeping track of our cumulative percentage, like accuracy?
I'll add it up. I'll add it up later, and
Okay.
I'll add another column on the bottom, and then we'll add
You
it.
hear?
Yeah,
hope
our
you're listening,
accuracy
Michael.
percentage.
Okay.
Eat
and
shit,
then,
Michael.
Timmy versus me. We got Timmy. So Jonathan, our guest, got 5 out of 6 correct. Picking Chris,
Wow.
Vincent, Jonathan, James, and Timmy. We all freezing cold take. We all picked Michael, and our
Wow.
guest right here got the dub. And then David and I tied at 3 out of 6 picks.
I think me and Chris are like pretty even on because we tied last week too, right?
No, I won last week. Yeah, you had to take a shot.
It was close. It was pretty close.
No, last week I only won by 1. Like
Yeah.
most of our games come down to 1 game. Like we're really close.
Yeah. Okay.
So thoughts on the games or anything like that? Nick, you want to say your piece? Talk your shit.
I'll talk my shit after giving recognition where it's due. Royce and Jonathan's game was just that was nuts, right?
Yeah.
I had more invested in that than my own game because I won so easily, and so that was
Knock
by
on
far
wood
like,
right
the one.
there, brother.
Because Michael ain't shit, but I'm kidding, Michael. I'm kidding. It's all love, but cold as hell picking all y'all. That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, and
That was a spicy
you're really invested in the Royce and Jonathan.
That was real spicy because then I remember when you were laying out the spicy meatballs, and it was like Aaron Jones and oh fuck, I'm kind of drunk. I blanked on the wide receiver that was
You think
combined
you're
for 40
drunk,
points.
dude?
I'm supposed to say another
Wait,
wide
you
receiver that
think you're
with Aaron
drunk,
Jones.
dude?
Oh, it's the other person he played, right? It's whoever he had left.
It was supposed to combine for 40, and
Yeah.
Aaron Jones blew that out by himself,
Yeah.
like in real
Yes,
time, and I was
sir.
like, "Fuck, dude!" I was
Yes,
like,
sir.
I was banking on Royce, and I was tilting him low key in the chat, but
You're
I
hoping
was
Royce would pull it off.
I was
Yeah.
pulling for him. I was pulling
Yes,
for him a
sir.
little bit because Jonathan is honestly like his team is way too fucking solid. Like that's like a wrap week by week to week, dude.
Yeah.
Short of a bye week.
I was looking at the league history this week, and Jonathan has like some crazy points for
Dude.
going back
Dude.
from last year. It was crazy. He has the best record. He has an 80% win rate, and like that's pretty phenomenal. And then he has like the most points for it. It's pretty crazy.
Way too good, man.
David, any thoughts from last week? How are you feeling from last week?
Last week was pretty tilting. Because I lost by like a pretty thin margin, but if I played I could have played it better, but my RB2 was like a pretty big weak spot, and going into the week I thought I'd get at least like 5-10 points, but that my RB2 spot is like turns out to be my kryptonite. So
very weak. Very
I need
weak. And then your Corey Davis pick didn't pan out either.
Yeah, I thought he'd hyper target him more, but
he threw 4
Like,
picks against
Pats, bro. Yeah, Pats are too good.
But we talked about on the podcast too, like Patriots against rookie quarterbacks is a no go.
It's a wash, yeah.
But
I'm no cap. There was a world where I would have played MVS instead of Tyson. Like I was like, if I'm losing by too much, I'm going for this home run.
How much did MVS have?
0.
0, right? A goose.
Yeah, and Tyson had like 10. So I was like, there was a world where I would have played him because like fuck if this. But we going into
review on the podcast. Who would you have picked as the kicker? Kicker, like instead.
It didn't matter.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It's like a roulette.
It was who was left, and I think I was leaning the Chargers kicker. But it was between those two. Those were the two kickers I was choosing.
It was your boy, so I was like, your boy on a Monday Miracle. Let me take that away.
It was Crosby and the Chargers kicker that I was definitely debating between.
Okay.
You started the Chargers.
But yeah, there's a world I would have played MVS, and you could.
Yeah, let's get into. Do you guys have anything to add before we get into the power rankings?
Let's jump straight into the power rankings. Go ahead.
Let's jump into it.
You have this take segment, Chris.
Oh yeah, right. So yeah, Jonathan has a very high points per game, 149. Is it gonna come down? Like that's crazy, and he stands alone with a power ranking score of under 1,
sub
1.
Dude.
So that's pretty crazy. So I don't know if it evens out, but he's hitting a ceiling. I know he's capitalizing. He's trying to take those pieces that are hitting and then turning them into more consistent pieces or higher scoring pieces.
Yeah.
Way more disparity. I think everyone was super close, right? It was like 2-6, and everyone was super close. But now we got more disparity where we see full points between most people. Michael drops to 8.66, and 8, 9, 10 are very close with between 4 and 5 points. The highest risers are Nick moving up 5 spots from 10 to 5, and Ty slid 6 spots from 5 to 11. So just to keep ourselves accountable, quote from David last week, I really don't think Michael's team is that bad. I say give it a few weeks.
A
and
few
start
weeks
climbing up.
means more than 1 week.
Fair.
I'll defend
Fair,
David.
fair,
I
fair,
agree
fair,
with
fair.
I agree with him. I agree
There
with
you
David.
go.
Actually.
Thank
Fair,
you.
fair.
I'll give David credit.
I'm just keeping us accountable, and I'm gonna keep this
Okay.
quote here so I don't forget it. So I mean, I can move,
Okay.
I can move it into the
All
doc
right.
next week when Michael's also
Okay,
called,
let's
you know
just
what I mean?
is a few more than a couple.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
He is at
so
100%.
least
a
3.
couple is 2, right? So
Yes,
a few
Almost
is,
two,
he is at
yeah.
okay.
least
There,
3.
give me at least
Yeah.
3 weeks, and
Okay,
you'll
okay,
move
okay.
up, right?
With that being said, right, so 1 week down. Quote from Jonathan: Michael's team is dog, and it continues to stay dog. So I just want to keep those quotes there so I can remember it, and I don't have to revisit the
I see.
podcast. Gonna move down. When we asked who's gonna move down, Jonathan said low hanging fruit, but Ty, and he did. I don't think he's gonna drop, but Ty's between 5 and 8. He dropped down to 11. Chris, I said same, but I said same as in Ty, but so same as in I couldn't really find anyone. The low hanging fruit was Ty, but between David and I, it was the loser. So David lost, and he slid. He did slide to 7.
Yeah.
David said.
I think I'm a
notes
little
say,
bit lower than that this week, honestly. After the or
Yeah, CMC. Yeah.
CMC, yeah.
Ty. David notes had Ty, but he didn't say it. He didn't say it on the stream. Who's gonna move up? Jonathan said Vincent has a chance this week. Is gonna show if his team is really good or not. It's supposed to be good, like we talked about in the trades. He probably won't make a move, but it stays down. Oh, he moved up a little bit, so he's at 8 just because he has 2 wins. David said Marcus has the potential to break out in the top 5. James hovers 5, 6, 7. James moves up to 4 above that, and then Marcus doesn't break out because he lost. It was that head to head. I don't think David thought about the head to head. Was talking about that, but Marcus moves down to 9. So thoughts on the power rankings? Go ahead, David.
Yeah, so obviously after the injury, I think my team is in a really bad spot right now. So depending on when the news breaks about how long he's going to miss and if he goes on IR, I think I'll be hovering in the lower tiers, if I'm being objective. But I also think
Are you still gonna power? Is your power ranking still gonna still be higher than Michael?
give it a few weeks. Anyway, but give it a few. I'll give you my answer in a few weeks, right? But surprisingly, what I want to point out surprisingly is that Vin Yi's rank has been dropping like consistently every week. Even though if you go on paper, his team's pretty good, right? But you can only play like 3 running backs, and he has to choose between like 5.
4.
So
Yeah.
I think he's just hoarding it, but he should start trading pretty soon to cash in on those pieces to running back needy teams. I mean, I don't see a point in hoarding like a bench piece, right?
With that being said, I think you need, if you're listening to this, you need to reach out to me. If you need a running back,
I've definitely reached out to Ngee, and he said he's keeping it for now.
Okay.
So I think he needs to cash in pretty soon if he wants to, because seeding is like everything in this league, right? You don't want to go against like a top seeded team, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think he should cash in soon so he has an easier matchup.
Gotcha. All right, so Nick, thoughts?
Yeah, it's actually I didn't even think about that, but yeah, spoiler alert for the CMC truthers, but
That's just
I was
me.
reading some I was reading I was reading something where hamstring injuries I think average out to about 3 weeks to heal like 100%, or
And
at least
that's
like,
the lowest.
I think that's at
rate
least
that's-
3 weeks. At least
Yeah.
3 weeks.
that's for like, well, I think it's like depends on the grade of the injury. I
Yeah.
don't know what
Yeah,
the
we don't know.
grade is or the MRI score is, right? But I think that's like really optimistic, right? So I think these next few weeks are gonna hurt for you, especially because this week in particular, you had Ingram kind of put up a dud, and
Every
Evans is
week,
gonna
my
get.
running back 2 puts up a dud, so it is nothing, right? All right, it's like you just put it, just give me the 2 points and keep it moving.
Mhm.
But also, I think if you're banking on Evans and Kittle, like Kittle has a decent matchup, right? But Evans is gonna get covered by Jalen. Mahomes is gonna do Mahomes
Jalen
things.
ain't shit.
That's your boy. That's bad
No,
karma,
he's
bro.
not.
That's
He's
your
not
boy.
playing. He doesn't play shadow anymore.
He's
He
just
stays
He
locked
on
doesn't
up
one
in the
side.
shadow
zone.
anymore.
He
Okay,
locks down on one side.
gotcha.
No,
Okay.
not anymore. He plays like DB. He plays closer to line of scrimmage.
Well, even still, I think
Or
the
he play. Yeah,
Rams secondary hasn't taken any knocks
I
this year,
think.
regardless of
Mm.
that.
But
So
because he played AR, he didn't even shadow AR. So it
I
depends
see.
what the game plan against Tampa Bay is. But there's the chance he doesn't lock down Evans. But
I see.
I don't know.
That's what I was banking on. Yeah, that's what I've been leaning towards, for at least like my thought process for this week. But either way, I think this week is already hurting. It's probably gonna continue to hurt for you.
Yeah.
But I
That's why
think
he's gonna
that.
finish his shot later. But yeah.
But I think Vince Hook and Royce are definitely due for a little bit of upticks,
Okay.
because it's universally accepted they've been underperforming,
Yeah.
like across the board. So is it one of those seasons where, and I haven't played fantasy enough or followed it closely enough, where this is typical, where certain players will just like shit the bed the immediate year after, um, pretty much universally, or are they due for some kind of like, bad games at the start of the season where they're kind of
Positive
rusty?
regression.
Yeah, but kind of rusty, and defenses, there's a lot less robust gameplay for defenses, I think, versus offense, and
Mhm.
so it's harder for offenses to catch up in a sense early on, and so um, I think they're due for some positive upticks. But I think Chris, you actually, and Timmy are due to come down, because,
Mm.
and Jonathan to a certain extent, but again, his team is way too solid around where one person's boom game can be made up for another person's boom game the following week, like very
Mhm.
easily.
Mhm.
And so, but I think Chris actually has been running on a hot hand for a little too long.
Chris, as
I'm
in
Hot
sorry, yeah,
Chris
hand?
Young,
I
You
think
might
as
get
so,
in
yeah.
burned.
The Chris Young,
as in
yeah,
Bowie League podcast, the
yeah,
critically
the
acclaimed
the paid
podcast host.
the esteemed paid
Yes.
analyst
Oh,
I
that
can
okay.
hear
that I
you
have,
over.
I'm
I
just,
can hear you over all
I'm
this
just
the,
making,
money,
I'm just
the
making
bro.
esteemed.
sure,
I
right?
can hear you.
No, because yeah, he locked up the Niners backfield for way too much collateral. Um, Calvin and Diggs, obviously those are studs. Kelsey is his RB1 in a sense.
Sir, you already know, dude.
But yeah,
I sleep easy at night
Okay,
because Kelsey just tucks me into
okay.
bed, dude.
yeah, yes,
Okay,
sir. I agree. I agree. It
okay.
feels nice, but yeah, I think they're due for a little bit of
Mhm.
coming down, because I think they're a little hot at where
Okay.
they are right now.
Yeah, moving.
Quick takes, really quick. I think Nee would drop out of the top six, and I think Vintuk, if he wins this week, should move up. But I'm gonna have Marcus coming back into the top six, and yeah, Nee dropping out. All right.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair too. Yeah,
All
I
right.
forgot Fook.
Let's get into our week 3 prediction matchups. We have a little bit of a different format this week. So, if Chris, you want to explain how we're gonna
Yeah,
do
so
these things?
I think we're just gonna really quick go through the roster, and then we're gonna side with who has a better like each skill position. So who has a better quarterback? We'll all say our piece. Timmy, because of this, real quick, and then we'll add on to the analysis at the very end. Okay.
Okay. And
Sounds good.
let's try to move quickly through this because we're running a little long.
Oh yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, we don't want the
So
podcast to be too long.
all right, so we got Michael and Timmy in the first game. We're gonna review the Eat Shit Part 3. Who has the better skill position? I totally forgot about that in series team this week. Who has the better quarterback, David?
Yeah,
Who you
I
got?
totally forgot about that narrative.
Yeah.
I think Michael said he's 3-0. I don't know how credible that is.
Yeah.
I wish we had a historian, but yeah, quickly let's go through this.
David, who you
Timmy.
got? Timmy?
For quarterback, we got Or are we gonna just say who we
Yeah,
got at the
just say
beginning?
who do you think is better? Who has the better
I
position?
I say Timmy wins, but it's gonna be like I don't feel good about that pick, but
Okay, close.
yeah, it's
Who do
close.
you got? Who do you got, Nick?
So a disclaimer: I made all my notes based on Timmy's grief picks, so they might be a
That's
little
fine.
off if
That's
I'm
fine.
going
That's
off
fine.
them. But I think this one, Russell Wilson takes it
Okay.
because Aaron Rodgers
Uh,
at San Fran is kind of scary.
Yeah.
I think it'll be close, but I do have Russell taking this one as well. Look at running backs. Who has the better running backs? Nick, who do you got?
I think actually Najee does really well against Cincinnati. I think the game script definitely goes in his favor. Gibson is still a wash. Again, this is based on Timmy's troll picks, but I haven't looked into it that deep. I think Darryl gets shut down pretty hard by Tampa. Gordon should run all over the Jets, so it might be end up being a wash here.
Okay, David, thoughts? Do you agree?
Actually, did Nick say Michael has the better running back core?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I say on paper Michael has the better running back core, but you never know.
I agree with that. The only thing I see going wrong is that Gibson has a tough matchup versus Buffalo,
Yeah.
and that Melvin should go off against the New York Jets. So,
Melvin or
uh,
Javante? Because I think is it Javante that's on his team, right? Yeah,
no,
because
Yeah.
yeah,
But
to
Javante's
me,
been slowly creeping. Or no, as in Javante could have a good week, not Melvin,
not.
right?
But I think Denver's running back should have a good overall
I
outcome.
see.
So it's very possible that Melvin
I
has a
think
good game
Melvin's
too.
still the clear
Yeah,
leader.
I think
So
Melvin's still the one.
Not
They're splitting.
clear.
No, they're
I think
splitting
so.
50-50, but
50-50.
I
so
think Melvin's the better pass catcher,
Okay.
which in half PPR is definitely what
okay.
matters a little bit.
Oh shit. Wide receivers. Who is the better wide receivers? David.
Timmy, that's his
No,
first two
dude,
picks.
that's just not even
All
a
right, real
question.
quick, I'm gonna take these two shots.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, well, flavor text, yeah. I made my comment that Timmy is a goddamn griefing demon because he was starting his he was trying to grief Michael by starting his bench players
Yeah.
across the board. And let the record show that Timmy's projections before playing any players was under 100. And that's the first time I've seen that in my year and a half, year
Yes.
in
In
2 games.
sleeper, yeah.
Yeah, under 100 is 94. So if Timmy beats out Michael with 94 points, it still goes down in history.
Timmy, I bet you still won't do it, dude. I'm just gonna say that right
You
now. I
won't
bet
do
you
it, yeah.
still won't.
I'm gonna
He's
call
talking
Timmy
all
out
this
personally.
talk like I'm gonna play my
Right, dude.
backup wide receivers, etc., etc. And I got Timmy hands down. Like if he does play starters, he has the best wide receiver core. I think Juju would feast though if because Deontay's out.
That's
Um,
true.
but Timmy, I think has the best wide receiving core in the league.
Yeah, easily. Yeah, he had that turn, that juicy ass turn.
David had to go re-up on his chaser after taking shots, but I know he has Timmy, so he's gonna agree with that. Let's look at tight ends. I'll talk about tight ends. Are we gonna do another over under the shit? Because I think that's like 2 weeks in a row we talked about Gronk. I can't do it. Gronk can't do that. Whatever.
It's gotta hit eventually. It's gotta
Uh,
hit.
What is the
Are
thing
we
that
gonna-
everybody's doing?
The ballers. Gronk.
Yeah, that's so stupid.
But
I think he
just
does it
to,
for another week.
just to spice it up, I got Cook outscoring Gronk this week.
That's fine.
So I got Michael having the better tight end. Thoughts, Nick?
Let's see. Tight end. I think. Well, I mean, because Baby's out, and Gronk's TD floor it's like Lockett's fucking scoring system, right? You're just banking on the big plays, the TD plays, and it just got a lot safer with AB out, I think. And so I think Timmy has it with Gronk.
Okay. David, thoughts real
Yeah,
quick?
AB out. Jalen probably maybe gonna be on Mike Evans. That leaves Gronk and Godwin for the end zone. So
Okay.
probably Gronk. He's such
Yeah,
a big
Fournette
body.
who?
Okay.
Fournette who?
Rojo, you mean?
Yeah, yeah, Rojo.
All right. Is there a position this matchup is come down to? I think the flex spots for Michael needs to produce, and if Daryl Henderson can go or not. But to be honest, I think Timmy should be fine if he's playing the starters. Nick, thoughts?
Yeah, if Timmy's got his starters out and rolling the carpet out, it doesn't. There's no matchup dependency.
Okay.
It's like Timmy over every single position. I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Except for running back.
Yeah.
Najee, I think is a sleeper pick to be honest.
Okay.
And Pittsburgh D. Oh no, sorry, that's the next one. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I wait. Sorry, are we on the
Do you,
flex or what are
no,
we on?
do you think this matchup is gonna come down to anything?
Oh, I think the matchup. Let me wait up. Yeah, it's a wide receiver diff. So it depends
Okay.
whose wide receiver goes off because Tyreek and Devontae Adams, right? Of course, they're the number ones in their team, but they're also gonna get the number one coverage. So Tyreek could have another quiet week, right?
Okay.
And Kelsey goes off. So it depends on that.
Yeah.
You already know.
Tough for Tyreek,
All right.
but
Is there a position? Oh, I did skip. But it's fine because Timmy's gonna win anyway. So
Yeah.
I feel like we all got Timmy winning.
yeah.
Yeah, but I
Alright.
don't like it.
Yeah, that
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Maybe it'll be
Alright.
like a commentator's curse where if we all believe Timmy's gonna win, he'll
True,
lose.
true. All right, Timmy wins. I picked Timmy wins. Timmy wins.
Is there a change you would make if you're any of the GMs? Anyone?
I think I would probably. I think I said Juju if Deontay is out, and I think Deontay just got ruled out.
Okay, so Juju.
Juju. I mean, don't play Juju because Deontay is out.
I'm
But
gonna tell Timmy to play James
play
White
Kenneth
instead of Darrell
Gainwell.
Henderson. That's all I'm saying.
Play
Oh.
Kenneth
Play my
Gainwell.
boy.
Okay.
Play my boy. Do it.
James
Do it,
Ryan. And
Timmy.
for Michael, I think I got Claypool going in if Deontay's out. So we all got Timmy. Let's jump into the next matchup. Dave versus Marcus. We're recording this on Friday, so David has a very rough start to the week. Because
Ooh.
CMC, guarantees you usually 20 points. He only got a 5. Let's go
Which
real
is
quick.
like more than, or like it's like half of what Chubb got for the rest of the game. Or what's his name? Chuba,
Oh wait,
Chuba, I
waivers
mean.
just went through. Hot takes.
Oh, hot takes
waivers
right
just
here,
went
live
through.
on
Waivers,
air.
breaking
Super hot
news.
takes.
Live on
Breaking
air.
news. Waivers just went through.
We've never had this happen before.
5
is a-
bids. We got
Oh
Ronald
my God,
Jones.
$32.
$32.
for
$32.
Rojo.
Live reaction.
No
It's a
way.
live reaction.
Wow.
Okay, well I got
Holy.
Trenton for LaVisca.
For $1, you
Just-
spent $5. You spent $5 in LaVisca, and
I
you
know,
spent
but
$6 in Trenton.
but I got the CMC injury, so I have to drop my wide receiver that I'm not gonna use.
Ooh, I
right?
wanted Christian
Gotcha.
Kirk, but I thought against it. I didn't want another wide
It's
receiver
the
3.
ganja. You should have bet on the ganja, bro.
Yeah. 2
Or
bids
Josh
in
Gordon. No
CMC.
Josh Gordon bets, dude.
Oh man, 32,
No.
dude.
32.
Holy, 15% on Rojo.
All
Jesus.
right. Let's keep it. Let's
Jumping
keep
back
moving.
in.
Oh, that's
Let's-
Jonathan for the record. That's
Yeah.
Let's,
Jonathan.
we'll keep the updates coming, but I just told Jonathan he's live on air right now.
Oh man. All right. So the quarterback, who's got the better quarterback in this matchup? I got David. Patrick Mahomes is just too good, and I think a tough divisional game for Dak against Philly. Thoughts?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean
that's
Patrick.
agreed.
I mean
I honestly-
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
like
echoing.
what?
Yeah, echoing that. Mahomes gonna do Mahomes
And
things.
they're divisional
think-
opponents. So
that's
it's gonna
right.
be like they know each other's playbooks and everything, right? So
Oh, that's true.
I don't even want to talk about the running backs. I definitely had Christian McCaffrey carrying your
Oh,
background, your running backs, but sounds like Marcus is gonna win this one because you have 7 combined points from your running back. So we're just gonna skip that one.
let's go.
wait. Okay, whatever. But who
All
does
I'm
he
gonna
have?
say is, if you guys
Okay, he
kept
has
the
Chubb and
three,
Mixon.
the 3 word games,
All right, keep it
remember
going.
the 3 word games
Wide
you had?
receivers.
Wide receivers. David can put his input in last. Nick, go ahead. Let's talk about his wide receivers.
I think yeah. So I mean, David already kind of disputed this, but I thought Mike was gonna get covered by Jalen for a while, so he was gonna get a little locked up. But overall, I think AB being out really upgrades TB's entire pass catching core. But Cooks also did go off for Dave. Was it David?
Yeah, it's me.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, Cooks went off for you with no TDs, and he still put up
Cooks
16.
is a bad mofo.
yeah.
That's
Cooks is
all
a
I'm gonna
bad
say.
man.
I mean, he's like
Agreed.
not really a household name, but he's
Dude,
pretty. He's like
for
the
fantasy-
target hog.
No, for fantasy, Reddit Cooks is 100% a household name.
Mm.
But I think Galladay still has the question mark, right? But I
Yeah.
think he gets even if he is healthy, I think he gets the game script kind of cucking during this next week, and so I think David has this one.
Okay.
Oh, David with the 7 with the hindsight.
Yeah, I think no, I said Mike Evans gets covered by AV, but
Still.
Cooks already went off. Cooks went
Let's
off for you. They know
go.
hindsight. That's
Let's
current day,
go.
bro. Cooks went off
Yeah.
for you. This
I
is
think,
present day.
yeah, I think losing Deontay is tough, so I have David going as well. So
Oh, with the CMC with the 5? I was not expecting
no,
that,
no, I'm
sir.
talking about I'm talking about wide
This
receivers.
is wide receiver
We
core.
didn't even
Okay.
get to the end of the
Oh,
game
okay,
yet.
okay. Oh, wide receiver core. Okay, okay.
Alright.
Yeah, it's a big oof waiting for
Okay,
you.
okay.
Tight ends, let's go. Tight ends. What do you got?
I didn't even get to talk about my wide receiver core.
Yeah, 'cause
but I
you don't
have
get-
myself just in
Yeah,
case
you'll
anyone
get.
was wondering.
Yeah, pass.
All right, tight ends. We got Kittle versus Goddard, I think.
Fant. It's
thoughts?
Fant now.
Fant, okay. I think I have David here. I think George Kittle should bounce back. He's drafted as a top 3 tight end, and Green Bay gives up too many points. And then go ahead, Nick, because
This is a hot take. Kittle puts up a fat goose egg. Put it down. Put it down.
For two
That
shots?
sounds like a shot
For
bet.
two
That sounds
shots?
like
I'll do a two-shot
I'll
bet.
take the odds. I'll take
2-shot bet.
I'll take-
Money line.
I'll take
Money
10
line is
10 for
negative
3.
1.
10 for 3.
Oh.
10 for 3. I'll take
Spread
10
is
for 3.
negative 1, David. Spread is
I'll take
negative
that
1
shot.
point.
I'll take that shot for a goose egg.
Negative 1 point.
one shot for a two.
I won't deny free money, dude. I'll take
That's
the
it.
shot.
That's free
dude.
money, dude.
Okay.
That's all it is.
David, want to talk about yours while I put in the shot bet? You guys really.
Yeah, so I mean, George Kittle versus Green Bay. Green Bay's given at least 15 points to the last 2 tight ends. And New Orleans tight end, I don't even remember his fucking name right now, but he got 15 points. So that's all. Traquan Smith?
Jawan Johnson.
There you go. That. Enough said, dude. Jawan Johnson
All right,
got 15 points. So I think Kittle will have a good game.
let's look at the flex. I have is Corey Davis versus good defense. Does Kenny G slot in? But he has a hip
okay.
injury.
Okay, keep going.
But so I'm not sure who Marcus is looking at right now. I think this game might come down to that position. Thoughts, Nick?
Oh, I just thought that Fook was going to take this flex spot because I think he had. Sorry, I'm not prepared at all, dude. I'm sorry.
He has Corduroy Patterson in right
Oh,
now.
that's right.
He had Deontay in, so he has Patterson in.
Oh, he had Deontay in. Okay, so I thought Deontay was
Deontay-
out.
He's
I
rolled
thought
out.
he was going to start. Fuck, I thought he was going to start someone else.
Kenny Galladay was the other one. So Deontay
Bro,
could've
I
started
swear to
with
God,
Deontay.
Marcus switched his lineup halfway through this fucking discussion.
That's what I guess. But yeah,
I'm so confused right now.
no, Corey Davis. The Jets are just a shit show right now, and Broncos D
So
is really
it's
solid.
not Corey Davis. He is Quinn Cephas. in
Oh,
this
okay,
show.
Fuck.
here.
Okay,
We
well,
can
this
let
is
him
what
talk.
happens.
We can let him talk.
Whatever. Cordell Patterson, because you spent too much money for him. Boom, go.
Okay.
Next.
No, you guys can live on air. You guys can pick my flex spot. You have between Quentin,
Right now,
Sammy Watkins.
No, I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you
Corey
make your
Davis.
own bed and sleep in it. Dude. I'm gonna let you lose.
Yeah.
Who are you gonna play? Who are you gonna play and who are you gonna lose with?
I'll say that Quez is not the move. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. That means I'm gonna play him.
That means you'll play him. Yeah, do the
All right,
opposite.
keep
There
it
it is.
going. Keep it going.
All right.
So
Positional matchup. I'm not gonna talk about the positional matchup because they're running back difference, and then now we don't even want to talk about it because 9 points total from his 2 running backs.
Yeah, that's a given. Yeah.
Would you do
Oh,
something? Would you do something different? What would you do, Nick?
I'd say that David
what would
should
you do?
definitely. I'd say that if I were David Leung, I would hop in that time machine and trade CMC for Cooper Cup. That's all. Because I offer that trade straight up. That was not a meme, David. That was not a meme. Cooper Cup CMC.
it's still in my trade inbox. Let me just
accept it, bro. You won't do it. You won't fucking do it, dude.
All right. Chris, who do you have winning?
I had David winning, but fuck, I'm gonna put David because I put it in for our Wednesday now. I put David in, but David's in a very rough spot right now.
Nick?
So I'm not gonna change my pick because I did put my defense in on Wednesday.
Yeah, it's in the doc right here.
I forget if I wrote this in prior, but I wrote spoiler alert, so it must have been after. But I think it's a given right now. To be honest, I think it's a given.
I think I win in a very dirty, like a Vintook style win. It's gonna be it's gonna be dirty, but I think I come out on top, right? Like
I
a Vin versus Royce type win.
Sheesh, like
it's
a 70,
it's like a
72.
70 to 66 type win. It's dirty. I don't feel
Oh,
I don't hang my hat on it every day, but I'll take it, dude. That's what I think I'm gonna get.
Oh God! All right, let's jump into our next matchup. We got Nick. Who has the better positional group, Vinny or Nick? David.
Yeah,
Quarterback.
I'll just go quarterback. I'll just do all of the positions real quick so we can move faster through this,
Okay.
right? So I have quarterback. I'll have Kyler winning over Jalen Hurts. So James running
No,
back.
we're in knee versus knee.
Okay.
you
Okay,
skip
then
way too far, buddy.
me versus Nick. Okay, I have Tannehill actually, because last time Brady played the Rams, look what fucking Nick's doing. All right, well, last time Tampa Bay played the Rams, I think Sean McVay had Tom Brady's number at least on the quarterback, and Aaron Donald um is a human being, so he's gonna get after you. So you'll have to rely heavily on the run game. So I have Tannehill over Tom Brady. For running backs, I think it comes down to Saquon's health. If Saquon's healthy, then I have Nick winning. But if he's still on a snap count, I'll have Yi winning. So for now, I'll put tentatively Yi.
Okay.
For wide receivers, it's very, 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 very even. So I just think that's a wash right now. For tight ends, of course, Waller over Higbee, like it's not even close. And for flex, Pittman versus Jonathan Taylor, like come on, dude. I have
That's the one
Jonathan.
thing I wanted to actually bring up on the pod because I've
I
been
have
struggling with that
yeah,
one.
you come in last, but we have a segment for your flex, but I have Jonathan Taylor winning that
All right.
matchup right away.
I got Tom Brady for Nick. I got the running backs leaning Nick this way. I think Saquon does well, and then Zeke doesn't. I have very close. I don't think anyone takes it like tremendously more of a push, but I'm leaning knee because of McLaurin's matchup. And then I got Darren Waller, no doubt. And then the flex, I'm not sure how I feel. So I have knee at the moment. Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, so yeah, basically just echoing everything. It only comes down to the flex where I've been debating between Pittman because Carson's health has been an issue, but also Rager's position behind Devonta is way too juicy for a Cowboys defense. So I've been
Yep.
struggling. Like, well, if Carson's healthy, then Pittman has
He's the only
this
one.
year.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's number one, right? I think he had like 50% of the yards last week.
Mhm.
Like Carson threw for 200 and Pittman had 100.
Mhm.
So it's like that's like a no-brainer, right? But yeah, other than that, Jalen's matchup with Trayvon covering Devonta, that's gonna be way too good. So I'm struggling on that one.
Yeah, so if I was Nick, I would sub out Pittman for Rager. That's an easy sub because I don't even think Carson Wentz is in this week.
Yeah,
So I would
and even then he has busted ankles. So
yes, I would play Rager over Pittman. What about
yeah,
you,
that's what I was
Chris?
leaning towards lately. Yeah,
All right. Is this gonna come down to anything? I think for me, it's the running backs. Need to put up around. Oh, excuse me. I scrolled too far this time. I think it's the flex. I really do think it's the Jonathan Taylor and whatever he decides.
yeah,
David, thoughts?
Yeah, I think it comes down to the Zeke versus Saquon
Saquon. Okay.
matchup.
that's
So
gonna be spicy. Yeah,
that'll
Okay.
be good to see.
I'm
And
banking on this comeback.
All right, and
okay.
who are if
We
you were
talked. We talked
if you
about
were the
changes.
GM of your team, Nick, who would you play over?
Uh,
Would you make any lineup
yeah,
changes?
I would have traded Cup for a CMC actually. Yeah,
Okay.
that's the move I would have made. The Cup wouldn't be on my bench right now if somebody acted right.
Oh man.
Okay.
All right. Who's gonna win this week? Who do you got, David?
I think Knee wins this week, but he'll squeak it out.
Okay. So I got Nick this week.
I
Okay,
also
so
have
we
Yi.
differ here.
You have me?
Yeah, I got Yi.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
with
Fuck that. Hell
Nope,
no.
it's
Don't
already
put that
written
around.
in the
No,
doc.
no, hell no.
It's going
I
to
got
your
Yi.
it's going to your
You
pick
kidding me?
percentage right now, dude.
Nick,
Bro,
are you gonna join us for a shot bet for the head to head?
yeah,
Okay.
I'm in it, dude.
All right, let's jump into the next matchup. 2 Knicks, 1 knee.
James versus Chris.
Yes, sir.
Oh, this is a
All right,
spicy
so
one
me
actually.
and you will go first, Nick, and then we'll end it with Chris's rebuttal.
Mm.
Okay.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good.
Okay. So let me pull it up real
Yeah,
quick. I'm sorry.
I gotta yoink it.
Yeah. So obviously Kyler Murray versus Jalen Hurts. We have Kyler, right? Dalvin Cook and DeAndre Swift versus Trey Sermon and Tyson Williams. Although Tyson's running pretty well, Trey Sermon's obviously a rookie, so all being healthy, I pick James's side, so I'll pick James' side. But it could change in a few days, but I don't know. Right now, it seems like they're gonna play Backwoods and Shepard versus Ridley and Diggs. Although Chris has household names in Stephon Diggs and Calvin Ridley, I think that they've been producing at the same rate, like Sterling Shepard and Calvin Ridley. I think Sterling Shepard's on a bit of a tear right now. I think Cooper Cup last week put the league on notice, and so more defenses will focus on Cooper Cup. So I think Woods will have a bounce back week. So I see that as a wash. Um, Mark Andrews versus Travis Kelsey. Like, come on, obviously I have Kelsey. And the flex position right now, I have Cortland Sutton versus Marvin Jones. Cortland Sutton versus the Jets is very, very juicy, as opposed to Arizona, which is like whatever middle of the pack. So I'll have Cortland Sutton. So overall, I think I have James winning this one out. What about you,
Got it.
Nick?
Yeah, so I'm gonna echo pretty much everything, but I think the difference is the wide receiver core. I think because they're household names because they're matchup proof, right? They're Calvin
Matchup
Ridley and
proof,
Diggs.
except for the last 2 weeks. So is that really
But right, but
matchup proof?
again, I think that's because early season is hard. It's hard for offenses to catch up. I think, right? Very uneducated opinion, but I think once offenses get in the groove, Diggs and Ridley, those guys are fucking studs. Again, you don't get cute. You play your stud, and it's bound to happen sometime, right? And I think they're due for it, right? Yeah, tight end is night and day. Defense is already out. Flex, I think the flex actually is pretty juicy. Cortland, I think will just come in hot against the Jets, and then they'll just kind of taper off in like late third, fourth quarter, right? But I think Cortland will be the game decider for that one early on. So that might put up a big gap early on, but ultimately, I think that Chris wins just because of the quality of players. But it also comes down to Jalen matching up with Kyler, because Jalen just showed that he can like be Kyler Murray light, but it hasn't had the consistency that we probably hoped for it. But again, I think it's because offenses need time to catch up, and I think third week and on is probably a sweet spot.
Okay. I agree with all your takes. I think I agree more with Nick's take about my wide receivers, and I think the flex. I think I can push with Sun. I don't think there's that big of a difference between. I think Marvin Jones Jr. is doing very well right now. He's like under the radar, doing well. And then if they're from behind, he's like Trevor Lawrence's favorite target. So I can all I can hope for is the opportunity in those.
That's true.
What I think is a softer Arizona team. Um, and I have myself winning here.
I don't think this could be a hot take, but I don't think Calvin Ridley is like a stud, right?
Oh,
He
dude,
needs that. I mean, he's good, right, on paper against number 2 cornerbacks. He needs that Julio to take away the coverage,
Oh, that's
it's
fair.
right?
it's just a new offensive. I really do buy coordinator stuff, but also their O line's pretty bad.
Okay, I see.
But
Chris
honestly,
watches the tape, so.
I
Here's
think
what
Calvin really is actually like a very good player.
But there
I
was a
think there's
stretch of time where Julio was out and Calvin didn't perform as a number 1, and
They would
kind
probably
of
just double coverage his ass.
no, he was actually doing well with Julio.
okay.
That's why I
Okay,
dropped him.
okay.
I
And our last
so
or
you have James, Nick. Who do you have? I have myself.
I got Chris. I had Chris on this one.
All right,
okay.
2 more games. Vincent and Jonathan. I'll go through this one first. I got Jonathan, Josh Allen versus Washington D. Washington D's been whatever. I think he should bounce back. Uh, because of the matchups, I think Jonathan, and because of Vincent's running back 2. I got Jonathan here. If he can keep pace with the Tyler Lockett and the D Hop, tight end easily Hawk, and then the flex is Jonathan as well. David, what do you got?
Yeah, this matchup is pretty black and white, right? Except for the quarterback. I actually have just Justin Herbert, just because they're going against KC, and
Mhm.
It's a
I think
shootout.
Herbert
Yep.
will do pretty well versus
Mhm.
Josh Allen. But
Mhm.
on the running back side, I have Jonathan, Aaron Jones, and Miles Sanders. You know what you're getting with those two, and Alvin Kamara hasn't really shown me he can return to the Drew Brees level with Michael Thomas.
Mhm.
Lockett and Hopkins, I do think Lockett and Hopkins will come back down, but I don't think it'll be this week. I think it'll be next week, right?
Okay.
Hawkinson and Logan Thomas, like, come on, I'm gonna just skip that. And Javante versus Debo, I'm gonna skip that too. And so I have I have Jonathan winning this week, pretty handedly. But next whoever Jonathan's matchup is next week, I think they'll have a better chance than Vin this week.
Okay. Nick, thoughts?
Yeah, I'll just echo all that. I think Jonathan's team is all around well rounded, way more than Vin's, unfortunately. So for this week and this matchup, Jonathan is going to be hands down it.
Yeah.
The only one, yeah, it's just I wrote GG at champ selection for all you league players out there. And yeah, you're right, David. Half of these are memes, but I wrote Jonathan should definitely start Pollard, otherwise the Cowboys aren't going to take the chip this year. That's some
Mm,
bad karma. So that's my recommendation.
all right.
Um,
All
that's
right.
it.
Yeah,
So we all got
I
Jonathan.
think it's pretty one-sided on
Okay.
this, the most
What's the
one-sided
Yeah.
matchup.
chances Vincent wins another game this week, scoring under 80 points?
I'll take a shot bet on that's
I think
more probability than
Lockett
Kittle
will score
scoring.
40 on his own.
Oh man,
That's
Lockett
spicy.
Vincent has been.
and Aaron Jones is good for 80 on their own, dude. So
Fucking A,
All
dude.
right. Um, I don't know. We can talk about who we think the matchup of the poll.
Oh, this one is
I had
spicy.
this one chalked up as matchup of the week, but we also got the
I
eat
like
shit
that
bowl.
Timmy Michael narrative, dude.
We can
That
do both.
one was
Why not
spicy.
both,
Yeah.
right? We can do
Double game
both.
of the week.
Double
America's
game
game
of
of the
the
week.
week. And then
America's double game of the week.
America's games of the weeks.
we got Royce versus Ty. The toilet bowl battle of 0 and 2. We'll let Nick talk through his the positional groups first. What do you got?
Oh yeah. So real quick, I think Royce's QB advantage is pretty decent for this week, and I will open up my fucking. Oh yeah, because he's got Lamar. You know, Lamar's gonna do things again on paper because I think he has a questionable tag right now. But Daniel is even against Atlanta, which is real juicy. Just because I have Saquon, I don't think Daniel gets that much fantasy points
You
because I think
think
Saquon's good.
so?
I
I
think
mean,
so.
Daniel
That's
Jones is like the number 6
he's
quarterback
the.
right now.
Is he
Who
really?
who
I saw
is
you write that.
who is above Lamar Jackson, who is the number 7? So just take.
Well, Lamar's has some tough matchups. I'll say that.
He has
But
Detroit
it's
though this week.
but Daniel Jones has Atlanta, so
But that's what I'm saying. But for going that Daniel Jones is top 5, like based on 2 weeks, Lamar's had way harder matchups than Daniel Jones, I think. And but yeah, Lamar's probably gonna do Lamar things if he's healthy against Detroit. That they'll both are juicy matchups, right? Atlanta and
Mhm.
Detroit. But
Mhm.
I think because for our scoring, right, rushing touchdowns, I think Lamar's definitely has the track record to have the gap
that's
there.
some Saquon
No.
boomer
But
take right
also,
there.
that's me, man. It's for the good
Go
karma.
ahead.
That's all for the karma. And running backs, I'm so low on CH. That guy does not pass
Mhm.
the fucking eye test whatsoever, and it's way too much of a gap because I think Eckler and CH are basically going up against Henry like 1v2. Royce has that one. Royce's wide receivers have way higher ceilings, I think, versus
Wow,
Keenan Allen and Eckler.
that's
Also,
spicy.
like they kind of wreck each other there. And then Hollywood cannibalizes with Lamar if he's going to be throwing it anyway for in the end zone,
Yeah,
right?
Lamar will be throwing it to
Mhm.
Hollywood, so
Yeah, well, yeah, but I'm saying like it ends up being like too much cannibalization for
yeah.
Ty's team in this matchup for this week, right?
Okay.
So I think it's too much going against Ty. And then tight end, I think Pitts actually does end up doing really well. The flex here is going to be really juicy. Cooper could have another fucking 30 bomb,
Mhm.
and Devonta I don't think is going to produce very much. So I think the flex is the key one here. But overall, I just ran through the whole team and Royce's favor, and then flex just ended up being a tie's favor. So I think Royce is going to take this one overall.
Oh, okay, Royce got to
Uh,
good overall. Okay, why don't you go, Chris?
I agree with everything. You know what? I agree. Yeah. Go ahead.
Royce is gonna win.
I agree with all the points you made. That Royce's team is better, and the flex I switched to ties. I do have. But I think all the positional groups are closer than they appear, and I have tied winning this one.
Oh, okay. So
Yeesh.
you agree with all the points except the point slot,
That's
except
the
for the.
conclusion.
You know what? My bad. One. Excuse me. I forgot that. Nick said that Royce's wide receivers are better. I think Ty's wide receivers are way better. Though it's kind of close. And I think Daniel Jones can put up enough points to I like Lamar Jackson better, but I think Daniel Jones puts up enough points to match him. And I think it's gonna be a close game, but I have Ty winning this.
Yeah, I also have Ty winning this game. Daniel Jones versus Lamar Jackson, like they both have the same skill set, right?
Mhm.
Except the only downside is Lamar Jackson's throwing to Ty's wide receiver one, Hollywood, right? And Clyde and Eckler versus Edmonds and Henry. I think Royce has the edge in running backs. Um,
Mhm.
I think Ty has the edge in wide receivers because the only way Lamar Jackson's going to do well is if he throws to Hollywood, which he has been doing. So, unless he throws to Sammy Watkins, who is my flex
Mhm.
this week. And I don't mind that, Royce, if you're hearing me. But I think if Hollywood plays, he'll throw to Hollywood. So their wide receivers are pretty even, except a slight downgrade in Lamar Jackson. Tight end goes to Royce, obviously, with Pitts. Flex goes to Ty at this current moment because Amari Cooper can blow up at any moment against Philly,
Yeah.
and Devontae Smith is like hit or miss. He's not really a known commodity yet, and so I think okay. Tell me if this is a hot take or not. I think Royce will lose this matchup because he picked up Bears D in hindsight. All right,
Mm.
tell me if that's a hot take or not. But
That's
I
a
That's
think
hot
that's
take.
that's why he
spicy.
loses.
That's
All right,
spicy.
but if I was the GM and if I would change anything, I would sit Clyde's ass on the bench and I'd play either Leonard Fournette or Sony.
Damn. That's actually a hot take.
That's spicy. No, I
Overall, I have Ty winning.
okay.
Oh, yeah. I forgot
Um.
to add. Sorry, I forgot to add that this is a matchup that I mentioned Pittsburgh earlier, where they could end up being a sleeper kind of gap for Ty, because Cincinnati has been just shambles,
mm,
especially last week. So I think they end up putting a good amount of points, to give Ty that kind of buffer that he might need for this matchup.
Okay.
Okay. One more thing to add too, because you made the changes you'd make. I say Ty. Jarvis Landry being out. Does he play OBJ? Because OBJ is gonna play, and then low key, I think James Robinson should be able to play over Devonta because Devonta. We'll see if Diggs is that lockdown corner, but he
Yeah.
did lock down Evans and he locked down someone last week. So he held Keenan Allen to a pretty low amount of
Yeah.
points too.
Yeah.
So
Agreed.
I would say maybe play James Robinson over Devonta, and James Robinson has
Yeah.
a
I would
I mean, yeah,
definitely
that's
put
your
James.
second round draft capital, bro. Fucking, that's like JD on the bench this week.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
so we got two shot bets. We got Royce and Ty for the toilet bowl, shit bowl. So between Timmy and Michael.
Okay.
All right, that wraps
All
up
right,
this
and
week.
that
Any other
wraps up.
thoughts?
Sounds good.
Sorry, we ran a little bit long, guys. But anybody want to have anything left to say before we end the podcast?
All I'm saying is that if I win my matchup that you guys both picked against me, then you guys are frauds and shams, and you guys are cheating the people, the good fantasy football listeners out there. Don't listen to these crooks.
All right, and a CMC. All right, Get better, all right. I love you
Oh yeah,
still,
one
all
for
right.
CMC.
Just 3 weeks.
Forward
And
out for
if you're on
CMC.
IR, just let me know this week, all right. I know no bad feelings. If you're on IR, just let me know early, okay?
Just
CMC.
shoot me a text.
Just
Just
add him in.
shoot me a
He's in our
text.
Instagram. He's in our group chat. So
Yeah,
in
he's
our
in
group.
our
Give me one
Instagram.
more chance. Give me one more chance. But all right. Peace out, everybody.
Thank you for having
Later,
me.
guys.
In actuality, that was fun. Thank you for having
Yeah,
me. It
of
was a pleasure.
course,
Always
as
a good
always.
time.
All right. Bye, everybody. Good luck.
Peace out.
Later. Good luck.
Good
this
luck.
week.